There's a character from the 80s called the Flaming Carrot, who is a guy who read 500 Jack Kirby comics in one sitting on a dare and then disappeared and reappeared with like a 6-foot-tall flaming carrot attached to his head. And so yeah, that's me. All of the Marvels is a book about what happened when I read all 27,000 plus Marvel superhero comics published from 1961 onward. And I didn't do it in order. I didn't read in any kind of order. I grazed. I read whatever I felt like reading on any given day. So, today I feel like reading some Spider-Man. Today I feel like reading some things drawn by Walter Simonson. Today I feel like reading some romance comics. Today I feel like reading some comics that have that dragon Fin Fang Foom in them. And then I had a spreadsheet where I was crossing everything off, so I would know when I got to the end. And towards the end of it, I realized that there were some areas on the spreadsheet that I had been avoiding, which is how I ended up locking myself into an apartment in New York City for 11 days with a case of protein drinks and every Punisher comic ever. One thing that really did kind of surprise me was how much the Marvel story reflects the world around it at every turn. If you look at the images and read the words and see just the kind of offhanded references to what was happening in the world, you can see 60 years of American culture through this kind of like funhouse mirror effect, which is a lot of fun. It's sometimes very strange. Steve Englehart, who was writing Captain America in the early and mid-70s, has a group of characters who are more or less stand-ins for the Symbionese Liberation Army for a while, and then does this amazing scene where a character who is very, very clearly a very thinly veiled Richard Nixon is unmasked as the head of a criminal empire and kills himself in the Oval Office in a story that was published 3 months before Nixon resigned. And there's that kind of like correspondence with the real world happening all the time in good comics, in bad comics. It's one of the things that kind of kept me reading, because even in bad comics, you can see how much they are of their moment, and that's fascinating. One of the interesting things about Marvel is that the story has been going on for 60 years now, or 61 years, and it is one long, continuous story. And what's special about it is that when the story began, it was really made by a very, very small cluster of people. It was Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko and Stan Lee and Don Heck and just a few other people, even like through most of the 1960s. And it was always treated as a collaborative storytelling kind of effort. And as more creators came in and started doing Marvel Comics, it kept that kind of collaborative sense, the sense that the collaboration could be between people who were working in the same room together or on the phone with each other, or were separated from each other by years or decades and thousands of miles, but still all working on parts of the same big story. There's really nothing else that is quite like that, and it's a really special thing.